Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
BallChat.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports BallChat Weekly. I am Benton. Junior is on the phone. Well, go on, Junior. How you stay?
Yeah, I'm on my way to the Emirates. I have to go dig up whatever hyena them buried out in the Arsenal backyard.
What? Is there some sort of obia going? It's an obia thing going over Arsenal that you're trying to clear? You're trying to end the hex, the bad vibes over the Gunners side of town.
I feel so bad for them, man.
Yeah,
you hear that siren in the background?
No, I'm not hearing any siren. Is that an ambulance from Arsenal?
It's a police escort to the earth.
Oh, how fitting. It's not over yet, Junior. It's not over yet. Mikel Arteta and the Gunners Nation. It's not over yet. Hopefully all is well, family. Out and about. But welcome to BallChat Weekly, where we review some of the week's major news, in the world of football. Junior is out and about, so he's calling in. Normally he's in the studio. I don't know how you go. We have to take a hand, make fashion, and make things work when we're running the live. On the docket, on today's agenda, we have recap of the EPL weekend that was, of course, a big topic of discussion. Arsenal versus Man City. The ramifications of this result. Of course, Man City took those 3 points against the Gunners. We'll like to hear from the fans, the Arsenal fans. Yo, want to know how them feel, Junior. How the Arsenal fans doing? How them feel? I want to hear from them. So Geraldo Hians forward. Want to hear from the Arsenal fans. I know it's a countryman that deal with some things, said Speed. We'll take a look at the Champions League race in the EPL. Big weekend in Champions League race in the EPL. Manchester United putting down further mark. I'm sure Junior will be very happy about that. Over in the Copa del Rey final, Real Sociedad upset Atletico Madrid to take their 4th Copa del Rey final. We'll do a final recap on that game. In the Bundesliga, Vincent Kompany and Bayern Munich secured another Bundesliga title. Junior, might as well just call the league Bayern Munich League.
Yeah.
In Jamaican Football Report, we'll take a look at the Reggae Girls. Reggae Girls victorious against Guyana booked their place in the CONCACAF Double Championship. Final analysis on our postmortem on the victory. We'll also look at the Jamaican Premier League. Things getting hot over in the Jamaican Premier League, but we start in no other place but in the English Premier League, Junior. At the Etihad, 2-1 victory. Man City victorious. Goals from Erling Haaland and Ryan Cherokee over Arsenal. Kai Havertz was the scorer for the Gunners, Junior. We didn't watch along your thoughts on the game now that you've taken some time to dissect and digest what you saw.
I'm gonna give you a joke, and I'm being. It's funny, but I'm being dead serious. So I had to go to the airport to pick up my family. So I fell asleep after the game, right? And I had a dream. You had like a quick dream. I swear to you, I dreamt that Ian Wright was in the car with me. And we're driving. I don't know why we're driving in this area. It looked like we're in New York. And we're driving. And Ian Wright was saying to me that the players them don't have any kahunas. And that is more the problem with Arsenal more than anything. So Ian Wright was telling me, I don't know if a phone was playing something with Ian Wright or something, but we were having a conversation first about Jamaican football and then Arsenal. Somehow Arsenal became a part of the conversation. And the boy, Arsenal have no balls. And that was the gist of the conversation. And that was the gist of the game to me. The game to me was simply Man City wanted it more than Arsenal.
Junior, I'm on a dream about a Manchester United fan dreaming. Wait, Ian Wright, Arsenal legend, entering Manchester United fan tree. What going on over there, so Richard?
But he's Jamaican, so that's his passion, you know. And I think Ian Wright was trying to tell me a message to tell the Arsenal fans. So he's trying to channel his inner Arsenal spirit into me, and that don't sound right. Why for that? But yo, I was so disappointed with Arsenal. I was so disappointed. I was disappointed with the starting 11. When you look at the starting 11 and you look at what's on the bench, I was so disappointed with the substitutions that Arteta made. And Man City were trying so hard to give Arsenal this title. They were trying so hard to lose this game. And it wasn't until a little bit later on. It almost felt like Man City players said, you know what? If you don't want a title, I'll take it. That's the vibe I got from the game.
You know, speaking of a former our Arsenal legend, Patrick Vieira said he was on Sky Sports. I mean, of course, we don't know Patrick Vieira, a general legend in the space of football. Don't know World Cup winner and EPL title winner. Patrick Vieira said, quote, I think Arsenal had a good performance, but the difference between good teams and great teams, you can see that on the field. Those top players make the difference. Arsenal will feel more of the pressure now. I would question the mental strength of this team even more. No, Patrick Vieira, end quote, saying that. And of course, when they talk about mental strength, when they talk about a player who has been in the belly, right, of battles against other opponents, Patrick Vieira would know those characteristics, those features that you would look for in players to win titles. Is he a bit far-fetched here to piling on the players, Junior? Talking about the mental strength, essentially questioning their cojones.
No, but and this is the reason why. The number one thing that you can say about Patrick Vieira, he was a leader of men. He was the captain of that Arsenal team. And he was the captain of a team that was chasing a more dominant Manchester United team. And he was the captain of a team that stood resolute to Fergie and his antics, right? So if there's anybody that knows about mental strength, there are certain players in history that has the resume to say, I can criticize somebody's mental fortitude. And Patrick Vieira will be one of those names that are on the top of that list. So when he come out and say that is not coming from a place of emotion, that is coming from a place of comfort. That is his comfort zone. He knows that place that he would love to see the Arsenal players go to. Thierry Henry gave his synopsis in the week when they asked him about this game, and you saw the Arteta interview when they asked Arteta how he's feeling, and Arteta said, "Fire. I'm feeling fire in my bosom," or however the hell he said. Thierry Henry said, "I don't care about that. Come out and play better than you did the last two games," right? And the way they approach the game, they did not approach the game like they wanted to win. They approached the game like they wanted to capitalize on Man City messing up the opportunity. That was their approach to the game.
All right. Big up BM. BM says, greetings, BallChat. I told you guys Arsenal, a.k.a. Reggae Boys 2.0, cannot be trusted. They're not ready for prime time. I don't really want to insult Arsenal and classify them in Reggae Boys. BM, you're going too far over there, some Reggie. Don't classify, don't mix the Arsenal fans or Arsenal Football Club with the Reggae Boys. Gone too far. Junior, so to unpack it a little bit, and post-match press conference comment from Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta highlighted that he thought the team played well and better than they've done in recent games. I think he's not alone in this assessment. I think, many of the pundits felt like Arsenal played better over what they've done these last few games. But overall, he used the phrase player profile in the box and highlight Man City's player profile in the box, he then went on and tried to clean that up in another medium, another space when speaking to Arsenal.com. Junior, but it was probably a little bit too late. The way the comment came off, it almost seems like he was saying that the player profile of Man City's players in the attacking third is the difference, and those small differences makes decide the game itself.
What pisses me off the most about that comment is Arteta responding like he's a pundit. That's what pisses me off the most about that comment. And for you have, in my opinion, you have two general category of coaches. You have those coaches that go into the weeds with the players, and you have those coaches that sit back and observe the players. And what Arteta is saying is that he's just an observer. And that pisses me off because you know your team and you know Man City team. And if you think Man City have a better quote-unquote profile of players in the attacking half, the power is in your hand to affect change, to kind of balance out the game in your favor, right? Doesn't that make sense? So what was the decision that you made to kind of balance out the power? Oh, well, let's talk about the profile of players. We know the profile of the Viking, aka Erling Haaland. We know the profile of Semenyo. We know the profile of Doku. And I can argue that's the reason why Arsenal started 4 centre backs in the back line. We can argue that.
Yeah.
So there's some truth to that. I am making sure I have 4 players that are comfortable with physicality right across the back line to go up against you. Cool. But what about the other side of the field, Arteta? What does it say to the fans, the people that is watching the game and analyzing the game right now? Because we're in 2026. We don't care about punditry anymore. We are our own pundits. So that's what BCN does. We give people the platform where we can all share our opinion and don't give a crap what pundits say. We trust our eyes. So if our eyes tell us that you believe Man City has a strong front line, so you know to affect change, start 4 centre backs straight along the back line. What does it say when you play a game and don't play a target number 9, a real number 9? You don't play a striker, and you have the striker that you spent a lot of money for, that his old coach wanted him, but you beat his old coach to his signing this year, and you have that player that was supposed to put you over the top, sitting on the bench until the 83rd minute when you went down 2-1. What does it say about the profile of the coach who doesn't make the change to make the profile of his players in the box be stronger against the Man City profile of defenders? What does it say about the coach at that point?
Yeah. Just to make sure I capture the exact comments, he tried to clean it up. Speaking to Arsenal.com, just want to make sure I captured. He was asked about his comment. He said, the quote says, on his comment regarding profiles of players in the boxes, he says, quote, generally the team, I mean every team has an identity because of the players and the manners that they have, and especially when you play against this opponent. You have to be very clear what you have to do and where you want to play the game. I think that we have done that really, really well, end quote. So he then, walked that comment back. I really want to kick Arsenal while they're down. There are a lot of questions to be asked about the decisions he made during the game. But Junior, any positive that Arsenal fans and Mikel Arteta can take from from this game?
Positive they can take for the game is that the sun will rise tomorrow. But after that, there's nothing. You cannot leave this game. Look, if it was one thing where we'd sit down and say, you know what? Arsenal approach this game and they wanted to win the Champions title today. Let's say Arsenal lost a barn burner. Let's say Arsenal lost the game 4-3 or 5-3 or 6-4. Let's say the score was that way. Let's say Arsenal came out attacking, running at Man City, and Man City kept them nothing and beat them on the counter attack 2 times and scored. I would come now and answer your question and say, you know what? At least Arteta tried. At least Arteta gave a solid attempt to win the game. At least Arteta tried to finish the English Premier League today. He didn't do that. He didn't do that today. He opened the door wide open. So there's no positive. You can't get any positives out of it. You did not even score the goal that you scored.
Well, Kai Havertz scored the goal, Junior.
It's Man City give it a goal. That wasn't that Arsenal. Man City scored 3 goals today.
All right. So I will try to give Arsenal fans some positivity coming out of this game. Big and serious. We know say Arsenal then I go to Etihad go win the game. So make put that one to rest. Especially
I thought they would.
Especially Arsenal in this form. So we knew that going into the game. All right. And this is an Arsenal team that suffered a massive defeat against Bournemouth last weekend at home. So in terms of the Premier League title and this game today, all right, there have been many warning signs leading up to this game for Arsenal. Pep Guardiola, Man City usually hits their form late in the season, and they really kind of they're used to this. They're riding through victories now because it's kind of methodical. They know what it takes to win trophies because they've done it before. And I think the positivity from Arsenal fans, the positive thing I will tell Arsenal fans, and they probably tell me about McLeod, but the positive just keep. I mean, you went to the Etihad and you lay it on the line. I mean, a couple bounces here, a couple small things here, you could have came away with a point. But unfortunately, you didn't. But don't lose hope tomorrow when you go in the video room, watch the videotape and kick Kai Havertz nine body because he should have scored that goal at the end. And then you move on. Because you put yourself in a position to get a point at the end. Kai Havertz score that goal, you get a point and you go home feeling better about yourself. And those small margins are matter. But yes, Mikel Arteta has to take the blame because he started Kai Havertz and he played him for 97 minutes. So
the whole game is crazy.
So Arsenal fans, I'm trying to give you some positive.
Hold on.
Positive from this thing, yeah.
Remember Kai Havertz had the one-on-one and missed too,
Yes, he did. Kai Havertz, BM says Kai Havertz a bug.
He had the one-on-one and he missed.
Yeah, Kai Havertz, Kai. Yeah, so I mean, it was always gonna be a tough game. You battled immensely, and I just saw you go. You just have to lift your head up and go for it. Because there will be no easy lunch trying to win this Premier League title. No. And you just have to man up and go play some ball next game up. I mean, and try it, and win out from here on in. So we know saying then I go to Etihad go win. You never get blown off the park. You could have had a point. Rest up and go again.
You went in one day. You went from having your destiny in your own hands to now hoping that Man City can drop points while you don't drop another point.
Yeah, this is true. But I said this earlier. I didn't think the Premier League soap was dropped in this game. The Premier League soap was dropped from Bournemouth. The Premier League soap was dropped over the last 6 or 7 Premier League games where they constantly had dropped points.
Yes.
So you could circle this. We can circle this game April 18th all we want from the schedule was released in August or in July or whenever it did last year. But most of us knew that, Arsenal probably not going to the Etihad and getting anything. It's highly unlikely, right? Because of the track record of Pep Guardiola late in the season,
No,
etc.
I wouldn't say that because if Arsenal was to win the Premier League title, they would have to have a positive result against Man City at the Etihad.
I don't think so. I don't.
Okay.
Especially this Man City team that has been so inconsistent.
That make it worse. That's
Especially this Man City team. So for me, with Arsenal, you have dropped the soap. And with Bournemouth, you have dropped the soap earlier on in the season. So today, when you go, you're not going to win this game. It's just plain and simple. The positive you can take away from it, you give an account. And maybe this is a linchpin now to go, a catalyst to go forward to win the rest of the games to the season.
Why
you never did have got Etihad go win that game. Mikel Arteta can say all he wants about. Sometimes we have to be real with ourselves. And be honest with ourselves. You're not going to the Etihad playing the way you are and playing the way Man City is playing, coming on the back of Champions League and think you're going to win the game. You might get a point at best, but you're never going to win the game.
Your optimism knows no bounds, my friend. If it was optimism like this, trust me, Benton, the Strait of Hormuz going open up by tomorrow.
You can't. You're not going to Etihad go play this aside, yeah. This trophy team, this team known for winning trophies under this manager after you dropped the soap against Bournemouth. You gave yourself a chance for a point, and Kai Havertz dropped the soap.
I think you are related to David that went up against Goliath. This is not what you are showing right now. It is not normal human behavior. This is biblical optimism you're showing, sir.
You're not going over this to go with.
Your optimism is like the mustard seed that moved the mountain. But the unfortunate thing is, the mountain is Arsenal. The mountain is Arteta. He is his own obstacle.
Yo, yeah, man. You can't win this trophy. You have to go through the side. These are the big side. You have to go through them. And the Man City side of things. And again, Arsenal can still but like you said, they don't have the destiny in their own hands, so to speak. But they can still win the Premier League. But they cannot play this game twice. Move on.
Sir,
and the Man City side of things, Junior. Good, bad, and the ugly. What you thought about this Man City victory, Junior?
The good is that they persevered. The bad is that they weren't precise. So a more focused opponent can catch them napping and beat them. The ugly is Donnarumma and the ball at his feet, something that we knew coming in. So you know what Donnarumma can be like. And Donnarumma, and ladies, I apologize because we know we get some female followers from this weekend. But Donnarumma coming like the ugly girl with the big body. But you just have to say, boy, she have everything in about the face, boy. Good God Almighty. Because, better, we knew coming in the man can't control the ball at his feet. We knew that coming in. And look there, it just show up at the wrong time. It's like, when we sight up thing, we're like, oh my God, I can't. I'm worse right after the goal. And then the sad part, we don't want to move on from Arsenal. But the sad part about it is, they did not put.
Seems like Junior audio went out there. I guess the people them cut off his block off his signal that he was gonna throw under the bus. But we have to get back Junior on. He's still on the live, but his audio chipped out for a second, maybe a bad patch.
You don't hear me?
Junior, are you here? We're hearing you now.
Boy, you missed the analogy. Mr. Donnarumma coming like one ugly girl with big body.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Junior.
Oh God, I'm right now.
But in terms of Man City, Pep Guardiola said post match, just remain calm. It's good to win the game, but there's still a lot of football. Quite opposite to what the intensity he said going into the game. He said, a lot can happen between now and the remainder of the season.
So he right now, because you see right now, before today, if everything was Arsenal is the winner, Arsenal is the winner, Arsenal is the winner, and then instantly it shifts to Man City has won the title instantly. It's like at the 97th minute, as soon as Oliver blew his whistle, Man City are crowned the title. Arsenal battle job 2.0, blah 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 blah. So Man City, to get to this point, Pep had to convert their minds into being the hunters, right? And know that they have achieved what they've been hunting. No, he now has to change their mind to act like the hunted. And I think that is where now Pep going to have to really coach his ass off. Because he doesn't have that leadership within the locker room. He has individual leaders in it. He has players that have the kahunas, but he doesn't have the players that will pull the best out of the other players. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have the players. He doesn't have the player right now. He doesn't have a Vincent company. Where when things are going bad, this is when your leader step up and say, no, not today. So there's going to be a game over the next month. Because there's a month left in the season. There's going to be a game over the next month when Man City have to decide, do they really want this title or not? And I think that's what Pep has to prepare them for right now.
Yeah, I mean, big up Errol, big up Errol Phillips, big up yourself. Hopefully, having a wonderful Sunday. I think that hits the nail on the head. I mean, but this is just a reminder that Pep recognized that his this team has been quite inconsistent throughout the season, right? There has been moments when you thought that this, Man City are kick on, and on the box of what happened last year, and then they say, oh, something goes sideways. So I think he recognizes that it's not, this team hasn't won anything until they have won it, right? And I think it kind of goes to the point that when you look at Bernardo Silva, ball after week to Bernardo Silva, I mean the work rate today. I think Erling Haaland said he told him that he played like Cannavaro, the way he defended. When you look at Bernardo Silva, getting such a high praise for defensive work, that means that, the Man City, last of the Mohicans, so to speak, last of that big team, Bernardo Silva is trying to will this team to something that they didn't achieve last year, which is the Premier League title. And of course, this is his last season. And I think Pep is recognizing that, look, he still has a player like a Ryan Cherokee who's a baller, who's quite just sometimes all over the place. He still has a player in Antoine Semenyo who gives you so much, but also can do choppiness, and Jeremy Doku. And then you still have a player like Erling Haaland who hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League since February. So, he's recognizing these things. And of course, on back of that, Rodri left the field with what appeared to be a groin injury. And he's been a pillar of the success, right? So I think he's recognizing that they celebrated at the conclusion, because I think he noticed that this was a hard fought victory, and this was how valuable it was. But he took a step back and said, look, we have more work to do.
Benton, pick up your speech.
Which one?
About Haaland not scored since February. Pick up your speech. Right?
Yeah, not scored till February until today.
The man reset the clock.
All right, continue our Premier League roundup. Actually, before we continue our Premier League roundup, let's go through the schedule for both of these teams, the running for both of these teams. Let's start with Arsenal. Arsenal Football Club will Let's pull this up here. Let's expand this a little bit. On Saturday, Arsenal will take on Newcastle in the Premier League. Yo, we'll get to Newcastle in a few minutes. Talk, talk about a team in crisis. We'll get to Newcastle and Eddie Howe, Junior's favorite coach, in a minute. Arsenal will play Newcastle. They will host Newcastle next Saturday. Then on Wednesday the 29th in the Champions League, they will visit Atletico Madrid. Then they return to the Premier League May 12th. They will take on Fulham. Atletico Madrid sandwich the second leg of the Atletico Madrid game. Sandwich another Premier League game where they will visit West Ham on May 10th. May 17th, they will play Burnley. They round out their season against Crystal Palace. If I have this thing up properly. Junior, talk to me about the Gunners' schedule.
I mean, it's navigatable. The Newcastle schedule, that Newcastle game, though, be careful with that Newcastle game. They're not playing for anything, but be careful with that.
About what? I can't remember when last Newcastle won a game.
True.
When last time won a yes, in fact, we'll get to them in a few minutes. If Arsenal lose or drop points in Newcastle at home on Saturday, come on.
No, but you said earlier that Arsenal shouldn't play the same game twice, right?
Yes.
So the funny part is, I don't think Arsenal played against Man City today. I think Arsenal will still play against Bournemouth. So they can show up at home against Newcastle and wet the bed. So no, don't sleep on that Newcastle game. Do not sleep on that Newcastle game. Apart from that, though, they will be favorites against Newcastle, but they will be. I would expect them to win all the games, except for the Newcastle games are a little tricky. The Crystal Palace game, too, can be tricky, but nah.
Crystal Palace last match day game, they don't have nothing to play for. Crystal Palace now going away.
Yeah, but they played at home. And it's one thing about EPL teams and EPL fans. They don't want Arsenal to celebrate winning the title.
They want to send them home for the summer. They want to send Crystal Palace fans home for the summer.
So it's a lot. So careful with that game, too. Careful.
Also, the West Ham game, they traveled to West Ham, and
that's a tough game.
On May 9th.
It's a tough game, too. That's a tough game.
And the reason, of course, West Ham is in a relegation fight, right?
Yes, and it is slowly turning into a two-team relegation fight. So they have to be very careful. Arsenal be very wary. You can't come out and play passive against these teams. You have to put that game to bed and make West Ham say, you know what, we're going to get ready for the next game.
But Junior, it's also a good thing that Arsenal don't have to worry about the FA Cup, right? Because Southampton clipped their wings. So.
Well, and by then, how would the Champions League be? By then, Cholo already deal with them, right?
Yeah. All right, looking at the Man City schedule, let's take a look at Man City's schedule, remaining games and this is another tricky schedule. I mean, probably maybe after two teams, maybe a more difficult schedule. You let me know. So Burnley, of course, in midweek, on the 22nd, they'll travel to Burnley. If they win that game by 2 goals or more, they will take the lead in the EPL on goal difference. On Saturday, they face Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. Then they travel to Everton on May 4th. Then they host Brentford May 9th. On May 17th, they travel to Bournemouth. On May 22nd, they host Crystal Palace. And they wrap up their season. Man City wraps up the EPL season hosting Aston Villa on May 24th.
100% the toughest schedule. 100%. I can see three draws in that schedule.
Yeah. I mean, so the I don't even know what Aston Villa team is going to show up, because I could say that the 24th game, Aston Villa can legitimately take something out of this game. But it's the final game of the season. I don't even know. I saw Aston Villa struggling to beat Sunderland yesterday. And so we'll get, the Everton game on May 4th, going to Everton. We'll talk about the Merseyside derby here in a few minutes. That could be a very dangerous game, going to the Hill Dickinson Stadium to play Everton.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll even add something to that. Everton needs a signature game at that new stadium. Why not against Manchester City chasing the title?
So why Everton never get signature victory today against Merseyside
Well,
rivals?
you get multiple opportunities.
If Everton needs a signature victory, why them never get one today against Liverpool? Brentford and Villa, tough games, says Errol. Definitely tough games. The Brentford game, yep, definitely tough. Brentford is doing quite well under Coach Andrews. All right, so that's the landscape of things for both of these two teams. Again, on the weekend, we'll do watch along of these two teams' EPL games as they run into the title race. All right, continue our English Premier League roundup and get into some other results, Junior. Let's step over to the Merseyside derby, family, as Liverpool clip Everton's wings 2-1, Junior. 98 plus 10, 100 minute.
100 minutes, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah in the 29th minute. Better equalize in the 54th minute. Junior, you said they could use a signature victory. Why not today for David Moyes and Everton?
It just wasn't meant to be for Moyes and Everton to be.
What do you mean it wasn't meant to be? Who made that determination it wasn't meant to be? Liverpool?
Yeah, Liverpool did. Liverpool had other ideas.
I'm tired of Merseyside derby, because every year Everton come huff puff in this derby game and still get beaten.
Yep.
Every year.
Yep.
I mean, when was last time Everton won a Merseyside derby?
Last year, right? I think they won one last year.
They did took a point, I think, last year at the death. Was it 2-2 or something like that?
Yeah, the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park was a draw, yes.
I think last 16 games is like 15-1 Liverpool or something. No,
but it will still always be a hot-blooded affair. Now, the sting kind of got taken out of the game because you don't have a lot of Scousers on the Liverpool side. You don't have a lot of Scouse-bred players on the Liverpool side. And I think there is that motivation, but I think Liverpool players just cannot wait to get the season over with.
Actually, it was 2024. Last time Everton defeated Liverpool was at Goodison Park, April 2024, when the toughest won 2-0. So I had to pull that up. All right, Junior, I'm handing out some. By the way, if you have ballers and bugs, send them on. BM sent on his bug of the week for Kai Havertz. I'm sending out some bugs here to some Liverpool players. So bear with me. Bear with me, Junior. Yo, it's a Florian Wirtz bug.
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz a bug. Bug of the week, bug of the season. I don't care. Let's see. Who else want to give? Alexander Isak, come on down. Bug. And yeah, I know you've been injured, player. I know you've had a rough season on the sideline, but Alexander Isak looked like a shot of himself in this football game today. Come on. All right, it's Ibrahim Karate. Seasonal bug.
Yeah, the body Him have a season pass to bug.
Ibrahim Kanate, seasonal bug.
He get the season pass.
Yeah, Ibrahim Kanate, last season at Liverpool. But I will say this for Liverpool, and this football game, Junior, this Merseyside derby, Everton started the game so well. I mean, Liverpool's goalkeeper, Mardashville, made a save earlier on, and I was like, whoa. And so in these rivalry games, when you're this high, because you're hyped up, you can only sustain that hype, that level of hypeness for so long, right? And earlier on, if you don't capitalize on opportunities, then the tide start to shift.
Which is why you said that they are the forever bridesmaids in this Merseyside derby. They show up, look good, give a good account of themselves, but always get upstage.
But I want to give Mohamed Salah honorable mention. Big up yourself, Salah. Yeah, I thought he played well. And I want to always mention this on record. And I know Junior might disagree with me. And some people might disagree, but I don't care. Listen, you see Mohamed Salah should be given the best farewell possible for Liverpool. Because what he has done, not just, he didn't do it by himself. He did it with this excellent Liverpool team that has treated us to excellent football over the last 5-6 years. Klopp and now Bug Slot. But Mohamed Salah should get the best farewell possible for any footballer leaving a club. What he has done for Liverpool. And this push to keep benching him by Slot, or playing Florian Wirtz, or playing Alexander Isak and all these players who them not playing no ball. Absolutely no football. And I think you should give Mohamed Salah what is rightfully due, the right to end his Liverpool tenure by just playing out the season in all or most of these remaining games. And he will give you something. He did score today. So, slot machine coach, cut the pluckery and keep starting Mohamed Salah. He was impactful in the Champions League game. Of course, he couldn't beat PSG. And he was also impactful today against Everton, when Everton was turning up the machine on them, Junior.
True, but then I think that's one angle. The other angle is it should be a cautionary tale. When you have the opportunity, I have been calling for Salah to move on from the start of last year. So, if you are a player and the air around you is getting a little tight, it's getting a little light, the vibe around you is getting a little bit darker, and you know that the sun is setting on your career at a certain location or wherever you are, if you have the opportunity to leave on top, you leave on top. Salah had that opportunity last year. He should have left after the title when him lifted the EPL title. He said, "Look, people, I've given it my all. We've won it all here. This is it for me. I'm going about in business." No, he wants to stay one more year. What was he trying to get? The Champions League title? What could he be possibly chasing this year that stopped him from leaving on a high last year?
But I think there's some players who like to just end their careers with a club. And I think Mohamed Salah wanted to end his career with Liverpool.
But he can. So retire early and go on with your business. But your day is done now.
Errol says bug of the week is Slot. BM says bug of the week Atletico Madrid. What a team dash with trophies. I said Atletico Madrid. So Mohamed Salah, I thought, and I told somebody in the middle of the week, during the PSG game, Mohamed Salah made a pass in almost like out of the number 10 role. He drifted in midfield, picked up the ball and made an outside of the foot pass. All right. The pass was intended for Kirkish. But Cody Cody Big Head Gapco intercepted the ball and cut out. I mean, that was quintessential Mohamed Salah. Picking up the ball deep and then left foot, outside of the foot, the ball, it would be perfectly sitting up for Kirkish to be free on goal. But no, Cody Gapco was inside of Kirkish, decided say boy he want to control the ball. When clearly he should have been leaving the ball because Kirkish was behind him and would have been on goal. So that is something that is, I love to see how Mohamed Salah does that. Those passes from deep, just picking up the ball are out wide, are drifting inside, outside of the foot. Not a lot of players in the game really have that right now. And, big up Mohamed Salah.
That is true. Song young men left Tottenham on a high. And you know what, though? Salah should have taken a page out of Son's book. Because Son left Tottenham right before they get relegated.
We're not talking about. Son, nobody didn't even pay attention to LA team in the MLS, right?
Exactly. So the last thing you remember about Son Heung-min is lifting the Europa title.
And the last thing man remember about Son is whether did he miss the goal on purpose to keep Arsenal from winning the trophy.
He remember the Europa title.
Continuing our English Premier League results, let's run through the other results, Junior. Looking over, Manchester United defeated Chelsea 1-0, Junior. Big up my fancy friend, come on. Come on's awfully quiet this Sunday, Junior.
Yeah, I mean, Duppy, when we met Duppy, we just turn and place in our haunted house.
All these discussions. One thing that was noticed, that stood out in this game for me, Matheus Cunha goal in the 43rd minute. The commentators mentioned that the Chelsea brass, I guess according to their sources, the commentator sources, that Chelsea is considering changing its model of trying to sign so many young players and offload them for profit. Junior, then if they're changing that model, why did you get rid of Enzo Maresca then?
Because this is probably them admitting that Enzo was right. Maybe Rossinier came back and tell them the same thing, and they're not going to be hard-headed about that. And another thing too is when Rossinier might sit down and look on them and talk about that. And by the way, this is on the heels of Caicedo signing a new long-term contract.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in the context as well. But Rossinier probably sat down and told him the exact same words. And Rossinier might be petty enough. He seems like a petty enough guy to look at them and say, point to me the last Chelsea youth player that got sold off or got transferred out and is a big name, or you can say I turned a profit on this player. You cannot.
Yeah, then I make a profit after we spell the one move.
Peter, come on, man. You can't talk about Lukaku. You can't talk about Salah because those were direct.
All right. I was just only kidding.
Yeah, but we can't. Where's that player? So that model is a failed model, and you're not getting returns on the field anyway. So you have to move on to something else.
Yeah, man. So speaking of the game itself, Matheus Cunha goal. Junior, I mean, Man United came off a defeat against Leeds. This was right for the taking against this bug Chelsea team, Junior.
I remember the goal came right after Fofana injury, so Fofana wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
Context. But look, Chelsea and Man U, there are two peas in the same pod. Man U just is a little bit more developed than Chelsea. That's the only difference between both teams. And another cautionary tale.
And maybe Man United has more experienced players.
Yeah, and that's a difference too. Bruno in a Manchester United jersey is a great footballer. Cole Palmer is not living up to the hype, that the early hype that he had. And that was a difference in the game as well. And also, what kind of goes without being said, because remember, Manchester United never play they were down both centre backs. They never have Lisandro Martinez and they have Maguire both for suspension. They Delit and Euro injured. So they had to start Heaven and they had to start Mazwari as centre backs.
Yeah, even on top of that. Top of that, at home, you still end up losing the game.
So what goes without being said is Chelsea's strength based on money invested is in the heart of their midfield. And what needs to be said, is Casemiro and Menu thoroughly outplayed Enzo Fernandez and Calcedo. We have to highlight that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are levels to this, and Casemiro is on another level, Junior. I mean,
and he continues to show it. Yes, yeah, I agree.
Come on. All right, continuing our EPL roundup, family. Let's run through the EPL results. By the way, big up to those on the live. Make sure to smash the like button. Share the content, family. Run through the score, Junior, before we get to relegation. Newcastle suffered another defeat. They suffered a 2-1 defeat against Bournemouth. Junior, will Eddie Howe survive this thing?
I think he will, because I think the Newcastle Isleman them are. I get the vibe like they are reserved to what they are. I think they're not chasing the top 6 anymore, and they just want consistency. I think
they are consistent.
Yeah, which is why I don't think Eddie Howe will be fired. However,
they're consistently bad.
But then Eddie Howe has an Arteta vibe to him too, because you lost Alexander Isak after pussyfooting with him at the start of the season. You run down Sesko and never get Sesko, and then you went down and signed the quote-unquote German Messi, Waldemar, and he have him sitting on the bench, playing a false 9 in all of these games, and them only come on in the dying minutes. So what are we saying? He's not good enough?
Yeah, he's not, Junior. He's not.
My God. So waste some money, man.
He's not good enough.
So waste.
He's not. And Johan Wissa has not worked out for them, and that is a bit of a surprise. Because Johan Wissa that I saw at Brentford, right? I expected more out of Johan Wissa, but he has not worked out for them.
That is pre-injury, Johan
Wissa. The injuries. Last time Newcastle won a game in the Premier League is that famous that victory over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Junior, that looked like many moons ago on March 14.
That looked like so many teams ago too.
So many years ago. All right, other results that you want to stand out, Junior. Brighton 2-2 with Tottenham. Should we go ahead and relegate Tottenham? No. They gave up a goal in the 95th minute at home. The game ended 2-2. The emotion of the Tottenham team, Junior, they look like they've broken. I think Roberto De Zerbi just say, yo, I'm going to sit down on the bench. We can't see them here, brother, after when the goal scored.
Yeah, it is.
Errol Phillips said, how can you put Son and Salah in the same conversation? That Junior insult Salah. Disrespect that. There are levels to this.
Hold on. All right, you know what? We have that discussion on Wednesday. I'll table that discussion for Wednesday.
Yeah, you have to go do your research.
I don't have no research to do, sir. Because
no, he was just. I think he was just referencing whether Salah should have just moved on. That's the genesis of the conversation.
No, you're not gonna see an error though. If you take Son and put him on Liverpool, Liverpool has the same success.
All right, Junior, you know what? Tap it pluckery and move on to Tottenham, yeah, man. You're telling me if you take Young Min Son and replace Mohamed Salah, talk about Liverpool has the same success?
Yes.
What kind of foolish is this?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
you know what? All right, let's just go to Tottenham. Why did Tottenham have the same success?
Well, I put Salah and Tottenham and remove Son. They don't win the Europa title.
They won't have to worry about relegation, though. Still fighting to stay up. But this Tottenham team, Junior, 2-2 the game ended. Pedro Porro, Xavi Simons with the goal for Spurs. Mitoma and Rota with the goal for Brighton. I mean, Brighton just did not give up on conceding. Giving up attacking Tottenham late in that game.
Which is kind of the Brighton way, and De Zerbi should look at that and say, well, you know, I kind of benefited from that way, so I understand. And I think that was kind of like his reaction at the end of the game to me was just saying, well, yeah, kind of expected that.
And all right, so where does Tottenham goes from here, Junior?
It's a 2-horse race for relegation.
Okay.
That's where it is now, and it's no West Ham versus Tottenham.
And other results, West Ham will play Crystal Palace tomorrow. They travel to Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest defeated Burnley 4-1 in the other relegation battle. Now, let's take a look at the Premier League standing. Any thoughts on this table? Of course, we know I'm going up top, but I mean, things that stood out to you in this Premier League table.
You know what it could be like? It could be like when Jamaicans talk about pudding. What's the term we say about pudding? What's the phrase?
I don't know, Junior.
When I say hella top, hella bottom, heaven in between.
I don't know.
You never hear that phrase before?
No.
All you say come from country. Brother, let's take the country card. We're taking the country card. I think it's hella top, hella bottom, heaven in between. Or heaven and top,
country people don't care about bottom, Junior. That's a Portmore thing. Tottenham in 18th position, sitting on 31 points. Smack down in the relegation zone. Smack dab in the relegation zone. Burnley, 20 points. Wolves, the Goose Cook, on 17 points. In 17th position, West Ham on 32 points. They will try to get something from that game against Crystal Palace tomorrow, family.
They have to. They have to. If they can beat Crystal Palace tomorrow, then dogs be up Tottenham super.
Yeah. Have to try to find and get something. And I'm pulling for Nuno. I'm really pulling for Nuno. At the top of the table, Arsenal sits on 70 points. Of course, Man City in second, game in hand on 67 points. Man United third, 58 points. Aston Villa also on 58 points in fourth. Manchester United superior goal difference of +5 above Aston Villa. Liverpool in the fifth spot on 55 points. Then Chelsea Chelsea trying to hold on to the Europa League or Conference League spot, family.
Europa, top 5 Champions League also. Yeah, we'll see. A lot of games that we played to iron out in that top 5 for a lot.
BM says yes, revoke Benton's country card. The saying is hella top, hella bottom, and hallelujah in the middle.
Yeah, hallelujah. Hallelujah in the middle.
Rasta man, none of them saying that.
Stop your foolishness.
All right, hella bottom, hallelujah. Yeah. All right, now continue our football roundup, Junior. Bundesliga title, Bayern Munich. Like I said, just might as well name the trophy Bayern Munich trophy, family.
Yeah, Bayern Munich Invitational, the Munich Invitational.
They secured a 4-2 victory over Stuttgart. I guess the next question is, will Bayern Munich win the treble? I mean, I think that's the ultimate benchmark, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
and will and the other thing too is will Sean Dyche apologize to
yeah, but you don't want apology from Sean Dyche to Vincent Company. You don't want that.
well Vincent Company no, but I do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, you don't need an apology from where Sean Dyche. Vincent Company just focusing on winners. Not have time for losers right now. But credit to Vincent Company. I mean, of course, I know the Champions League will be a huge checkbox, a huge measurement of will he stay at Bayern Munich, right? But many thought that Vincent Company was in over his head taking this job, right? This role was too big for him. But
Yes,
we saw, I mean, what, second Bundesliga title on the trot, and they're playing some good football in Champions League.
yes, yes. It's not the moment is not too big for him, and that much is clear. So
You know, the funny thing about all of this though is when you sit down and watch Bayern Munich, and again in the Champions League, I saw Luis Diaz just running through defenses like knife through butter, and while Liverpool over there, so I can't even get no the outside left side.
yeah. But then the thing that Vincent Company does is he just put players in a position where they are comfortable and can be themselves. That's all. There's no trick. There's no rhyme. There's no reason to his approach to coaching and preparation. He just have the players them in a comfortable state of mind, in a comfortable part of the field, and then make it work. There's nothing, and I don't want anybody to think that I am downplaying the what Vincent Company has done, because that is actually a skill that a lot of coaches just don't have. And that's why the old phrase about square peg, round hole. Vincent Company don't have that. He creates the square holes for all his square pegs and put them in that space. And he is the one that is responsible for them having synergy. Because remember, this is the same Bayern Munich that we saw Nagelsmann try to do what Vincent Company has done, and teams are run through them like a woman a back road. And
Well,
Vincent,
tell us how you really feel, Junior.
am I lying though? Remember, Bayern Munich has always played good football, but them back door open wide, right?
Bayern
And
Munich has won 35 Bundesliga titles in its
yeah,
history.
but that's no measuring. That's no measuring stick. I mean, come on. I think they won 10 straight before Leverkusen won for them to go on.
Yeah, I mean, they're the standard bearer in this league.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, not a success, but congrats to Vincent Company.
Yes.
Errol says the Man United people are delusional. Junior, do you want my delusional 20-year-old son? When he spoke about Yeon Min's son and Mohamed Salah. Yes, Manchester United fan Junior is a bit delusional, yeah.
Listen, I think you guys are racist.
Okay, Junior. Those are the views of Junior. Continue football roundup, Copa del Rey action. So congrats to Vincent Company and Bundesliga title holder Bayern Munich. Over to Copa del Rey final in Spain. Real Sociedad defeated Atletico Madrid 4-3 on penalties. Yo, I mean, this might be the only trophy that Cholo is gonna win this year. At least he dropped the soap, Junior.
Yeah, and I'm going to wait until the end of the Champions League run to determine how I feel about this loss.
Okay, why can't you determine how you feel now?
Because I can easily say that Cholo cares about Champions League.
Okay. So, I know you picked them to win the Champions League.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's why I started going wait because I was very disappointed that they lost. No, granted, I think they were down 2-0 and they came back and tied the game, right?
they were down 2-1.
2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, but
down 2-1. Yeah, they tied it in the 83rd minute. So
it's a disappointment. And look, fun and joke aside, you have opportunity to win a trophy. Arsenal, you don't throw it away and say we have higher priorities. No, brother, you have a chance to win a game, you go win the game.
yeah. Just checking out some news. Errol Phillips says hallelujah in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's Yeah, we have to go.
Aaron, what take a mental card, man?
Yeah, we have to go. We don't have some things our country. We don't use them saying our country.
No, you just were in the house, mental. That's
Junior, in the FIFA World Cup news update, still issues over ticket prices as New Jersey residents are complaining about these increasing train fares, Junior.
Well, I mean, capitalism, right?
I mean, and of course, now this enter into the politics of things. Senator Chuck Schumer calls on FIFA to cover the $150 transit fares for World Cup fans heading to MetLife Stadium. How cost we go from $12 to $150, Junior?
Well, no, that's not the real question. The real question is how is an American senator asking a foreign entity? Well, FIFA has a portfolio in America, so let's not call them a foreign company. How can Chuck Schumer ask a company to cover the cost of something that is run by the government? It makes no sense.
I think New Jersey governor also requested that FIFA cover the costs also.
It makes no sense.
But you keeping these events in these jurisdictions, whether in the state of New Jersey, in the state of New York, $150 for train ticket, Brethren?
Who so you think it's FIFA determining that they are going to raise the train ticket?
How is that train ticket up to $150?
That's a valid question, and I don't want to answer your question with a question, but I think my question has to be answered first. I'm sorry. Do you think FIFA is the one that is determining to raise the ticket at the train ticket? Who determined that?
As New Jersey transit ticket prices are set for $150 to get to MetLife Stadium, Schumer released a statement on Sunday calling for FIFA to pay the full fare, which is astronomically higher than the regular cost of travel from Penn Station. FIFA is set to make approximately $11 billion in revenue off the tournament.
The ticket prices, but they are not making any money off the train ticket. Who is making this money? Who is the
and again, big up to Donald who dropped that podcast, the Athletic World Cup podcast that discussed some of these things. I mean, one of the big things is that because local jurisdictions has pounding up so much money to host the World Cup, FIFA is also trying to recoup their money, right? So local jurisdictions are also trying to recoup their money. A lot of these train stations and platforms are invest because, of course, if you're hosting the World Cup, you have to make these upgrades. And then who's going to cover the cost of these upgrades, Junior?
Is it privately owned, better?
Okay. The taxpayers can't be left holding the bag.
But but the government cannot ask a private company to foot the bill for a government-run program. It doesn't make any sense. Look, all right.
The government can ask what the government can ask, Junior.
Sure, and you know what? And not to make this political, but that's all that we've been seeing from the Senate these days. It's just a lot of questions and a lot of talking. Because they're making this political And I don't care what side of the aisle you sit on, whether you are conservative or liberal. They all try to angle and set up emotions for people to get angry towards certain rhetoric. And that's all this is right now. Because somebody just need to ask the common sense question. This extra $150, who is getting this money? You are, if they can answer that question, Mr. Schumer, the $150 that I am going to pay to go to that stadium, who is getting that money? And you know what Chuck look for me and say? Well, we had to pay by the people that do it and blah, blah, blah. No, but who gets the money? Who determines? Well, the government does. Okay, so you are asking FIFA to pay you for us then. That's what you're doing. Just come out and just flat out say it. Just come out and say it. But no, you must angle it towards this because Chuck Schumer is a Democrat. And we have a Republican president who pony up with the FIFA president. So now they can skew them together and say, look, guys, the president of the United States is raising gas prices by his action. We're losing jobs by his actions. And look at this, the world spectacle that you guys fought for and bid for, the president is now taking more money off.
Junior, to answer your question, CEO of the New Jersey Transit President and CEO Chris Colari was asked this question: why this cost? Why this increase in cost? He said, "quote: This isn't price gouging. We're literally trying to recoup our costs." He says that New York Transit officials said they plan to spend $62 million transporting fans to and from the stadium over the duration of this tournament. And they're saying that we have to recoup that cost because that cost then, again, has so eloquently stated in the podcast, the Athletic Football Daily podcast on the Athletic, the local jurisdictions trying to recoup the cost of hosting the World Cup. Henceforth, this increase in price, according to the CEO, Junior.
What was the first thing the CEO said? This is not price gouging, but we are price gouging.
He says we're trying to recoup their costs because the local jurisdictions are spending this amount of money to meet the demands of FIFA and this FIFA World Cup.
And when we say local jurisdiction, we are talking about the government.
Yeah, I mean, my local city of Atlanta, well, I'll leave that one there alone. Leaving that one alone. Let's head over to Yardballer's report, because I don't want the city of Atlanta come send me no extra tax bill for hosting a World Cup. But we'll see how that one plays. New Jersey Governor Mickey.
You know, there might be an opportunity for us to rent out our parking spots in a full year.
Up to you, man. We rent out the driveway. Compared it and you know what? I think we might be right driving Uber.
A $3,000 I charge somebody to park at my house.
Go park at the yard. If you want a parking space and we have one little thing around the back, somebody can sleep in you can rent out that as a room.
We'll jerk some pan chicken too.
Yeah, man. That time, you know what? Junior, let's talk off here about this, because if price gouge not go on, we can undercut the market.
We can't gouge stuff. Hey. Them alone are gouge.
But New Jersey Governor Mickey Sherrill says that FIFA needs to subsidize. If it won't, we will not be subsidizing World Cup ticket holders on the backs of New Jerseyans who rely on New Jersey transit, says Mickey Sherrill. What's the space? BM says all indicators are the World Cup will be the worst ever. FIFA President Gianni Infantino defended the ticket price increase recently, saying that, you know what, this is part of dynamic pricing or whatever.
He doesn't understand what the hell he was talking about. He needs to shut the hell up.
We'll just leave the one
Just shut the hell up.
We just leave the one there over there. So Gianni Infantino they need to put somebody else in front of the press.
Yeah, put somebody that understands America.
He says that ticket prices are because of a very special market, whatever that means.
Yes, but you have people that have forgot to work.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. All right, let's step over to Jamaican football report and now celebrate the Reggae Girls. Junior Reggae Girls defeated Guyana 2-0 to advance the CONCACAF Double Championship. Ball of the week to the Reggae Girls. Baller to Coach Hubert Busby Jr.
Yeah, I agree.
BM says we were led to believe Sepp Blatter and Jack Warner were leaders from hell. Look who is leading FIFA now. Yeah, I guess we're glad we have Sepp and Jack. At least Jack Warner used to make a thing reach at the Caribbean.
Yep.
Junior, back to the Reggae Girls now. We've had a chance to think about the game. Like BM said earlier during the watch along, he slept in his jersey. And I can't emphasize enough how I enjoyed that game last night. And it's been a long time I sat down and enjoyed a Jamaica football game. A Jamaican team. Men or women. It's been a long time. And I enjoy what I saw from the Reggae Girls last night.
They definitely were a godsend. They that game. And hats off to Guyana too, because for us to enjoy the game that was presented, Guyana had to play it. I'd present a worthy opponent. So hats off to Guyana. Them turn up, them play a good game, even though they were overmatched. And Jamaica just take care of business.
Yeah, Jamaica took care of business. The Reggae Girls booked their place. Any final in-game assessment? I mean, any final thing you want to say regarding the game? I mean,
I would like us to be more clinical in front of goal. And that's me being extremely picky. But that's what I would want to see more of. More clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but we saw some tactical changes from the coach and some improvements in the Reggae Girls. Big up to Shania Hills getting on the scoring sheet. Big up. Glad to see that she was able to convert a chance. You know what? Make we pack with bags and get ready for Brazil, because right now, Reggae Girls will get past Costa Rica. I'm calling it early.
It's a good feeling. Feeling.
On the back of yesterday's victory, news broke, or maybe it broke before the game, that KFC committed 14 million to Reggae Girls in renew push towards World Cup history. Reggae Girls looking to, and by the way, 14 million Jamaican dollars. We have to get that sorted out. We have to make sure I get that cleared away. Junior, yeah, I mean, the marketing of that game last night, much improved. Big up to them for getting out the fans. But now KFC putting more money behind the Reggae Girls, Junior.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to publicly request all the people that are out there that are watching BCN, like what they are seeing. Email us. Send us an email or reach out to us under the quiet professionally. We are very professional people. We might run joke and thing, but we are very professional here at BCN. Reach out to us. Let us know what metric we need to cross in order to make our partnerships be public. Because people are following that. People are following.
Okay, one time we had big followers, but it's good that we are. Good that.
What I mean by people, I'm talking the
the brass and the decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And people are listening to the show, man. The decision makers. This $14 million, 12 million in cash, Junior. JFF gets some more money again, and $2 million in KFC meal products. I guess Junior would be happy to buy more barbecue chicken.
I don't, yo, you see, the have to take away your country card more and more, okay? You just sound like a town man.
No, but Rasta, I bought the barbecue chicken thing on the hype over KFC. In fact, if I did me, I am happy KFC is investing in the reggae girls, but if I'm me alone to spend our money over KFC in the Jamaica, you know,
Those are the views of Benton and not BCN
I
Sports.
will say this though. I will say this. Now that I've seen that they're publicly putting more money into the reggae girls, me I go buy a meal deal next time I down there.
All right, so
I will
KFC,
support KFC and buy a meal deal.
KFC, you hear that, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I will make a move. Me not join up a line though, you know. So no bother with it. Me not gonna line up for all day for buying on chicken. Me not in it.
Benton just quit the one.
Me not in it. But this is a good move. Hopefully other investors, other sponsors will get on board with the Reggae Girls
For
Junior.
sure, for sure, for sure. And they need it. And you know what, too? While the sponsors come on board, we have to continue to highlight the work that the Reggae Girls Foundation has been doing. And we should not overlook them. And hopefully the sponsors them are doing their just due. Because right now you might have a lot of little people running in that hasn't been there from the start. I don't understand the culture that is being built. So hopefully we don't lose our culture as the investments start coming in.
You know, I gonna put together an investment package for the Reggae Girls. You know what? When I forget, we can put some bottles of water on a thing and send down there.
Buckles of water after them get KFC investment.
Well, yeah, you're gonna need some water for washing down, Junior.
You, you're going to need some Dasani or some Dasanai. You can't go to water.
You know, Reggae Girls continue to do well. Big up to the girls. Big up to the ladies. Big up. Big up to KFC. And we implore other sponsors to get on board, to support the Reggae Girls. You know, and you know, and I think they will. They will. You know, other sponsors, people like to back winners, and you know,
Yes.
you keep winning and playing attractive football. Other sponsors will jump on board.
And you know what? You know what else I love to? I love the fact that they are sponsoring a booming product.
Yeah,
They're not
product that's
they're not
going. Yeah.
they're not sponsoring a product that has always been booming and is now on its last leg. Jamaican football, women's football is in a good place. Is in a safe place. We have some young, talented ballers coming through the ranks.
Yeah.
And this sponsorship will just keep the spotlight on them.
Yeah.
So we love that.
Love it. All right, now over to the Jamaican Premier League. Let's big. Let's get some score updates on the Jamaican Premier League family. As what happened to Police Wadia? Squad
Right.
pick up a nine and pick up.
But why are you surprised?
No, but they hired Woolry Wolf, who was supposed to change things. Apparently, it's not making an impact. Look like the squaddy might be on the way down again, Junior.
So Benta, you ascribe to the thought process that the reason why they were the way they were is because of coaching?
Yeah, all right. I prescribe to the process that there should be a new coach lift.
Okay.
Even bug teams gets a new coach lift.
Okay. But is that the fix? Or is that the
PM
start
says
of the
keep
fix?
the sponsors coming. Big up to Tanya. I mean, big up Tanya, yes. Big up. Keep doing the work, Tanya. Keep doing the thing. Yeah, Junior, continue.
Yeah, the new coach is just the start of the process. Them
Yeah,
need a
but
new
you can't get 9-0 Regin as a new coach.
Yeah, you need a new side.
Come on. All right, scores update, and you brought this thing up the other day that you said we should discuss, where Craig Butler and I'm looking at Chapelton versus Portmore here. Portmore defeated Chapelton 2-0 earlier today. Waterhouse 1-0 over Harborview. Montego Bay United, much needed 4-1 victory over Racing United. Tivoli 2-0 over Dumbo Holden. Treasure Breach and Mount Pleasant ended 2-2. Arnett will take on Malines, and it looked like this is it for Malines. Them goose might be cooked. But in terms of this year relegation, looking at the table here.
And every year them flirt with it. Every year.
Yeah, man. Every year. It's about, you know what? At some point you're going to get catch. At some point you're going to get catch. You can't just come a league every year at a battle for survival. I mean, come on. At some point they're going to reach, you know. You know what? Relegate Malines, no, so Reno can come forward. Box cover.
Reno have to be prepared to go forward to come forward.
Relegate Malines, no, so Reno can. But Julia, I think on the back end we'll get to BM's comments here in a few minutes. Cavalier defeated Chapelton recently, and we saw an interview where Craig Bullhead Butler, big up yourself, Craig, admitted that they were outclassed, Junior, and you wanted to dissect that game. It was just Speed and Cavalier doing what they do, Junior.
Well, it's not the game. I wanted to dissect the gravity of the situation. And we have to bring light to the fact that there are things happening behind the scenes. And I think Craig Butler is fighting a fight. He's on a crusade. Many have looked at him either as, for Craig Butler, there hasn't been any middle ground. You either rate what him do, or you're completely against what he's doing, right? There hasn't been any middle ground for Craig Butler.
I think I can be that middle ground, Junior.
No, you can't lie to yourself and say you are going to be that middle
Man,
ground.
I can give him some credit, some respect for some of the achievements.
No, but you give him the credit, which means that you rate what he's doing. No, you might not like some of his methods.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not talking about the personality. The personality is irrelevant. Is that he is successful or not? Yeah. But Craig Butler is fighting a fight right now, a long time fight, and I think he finally sees an opportunity where his fight, the toil that he has been toiling, can now be realized. And he had the opportunity now to add on to the pressure, and unfortunately, they couldn't. They couldn't overcome Cavalier, and I think that post-game interview that we saw, that interview where we saw, is a lot of emotion coming out of the man, and I actually felt it for him. I really did. I really felt it for him that he wanted that moment. And unfortunately, the way our life is sometimes, you can't get what you want all the time, right?
What you mean? The side get fixed up.
Yeah.
The side, there are levels to this thing, man. I mean, sometimes it's just like earlier we said that some teams are not on a certain level. I mean, Chapelton is just not on that level right now. I mean, maybe they'll get there one day. I wish them all the best in getting there. But there's something that they're trying to build, and and in order to get there, you have to first admit that they're upon them level there. Now, Bullet might come and tell me about my parts one day, but not even that. He might admit, say, yeah, they're working on trying to get to that level.
I can tell you right now, Craig Butler, I'm going to tell you that they are a very young team, which they are.
Yeah.
And for the trajectory for those players are actually higher.
Yeah.
Because they are young players getting their experience right now and then getting the opportunity to ply their trade overseas, which you can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
So big up Craig Butler, and I'll say this too. Big up Rudolph Speed, the yin and the yang after JPL, and it is needed in the JPL. Now the conversation can be had about the national team, whether that serves a purpose or not. And the answer is no. But I don't feel like having that conversation right now.
Yeah, them things. No, not yeah. It's not beneficial for the national program. You would, in a perfect world, you would love for both to be able to collaborate and help to grow the program. But
Exactly.
this is where we are, unfortunately, with the landscape of things, in the Jamaican Premier League and Jamaican football. Standing for the Premier League as teams push for playoff, Montego Bay United on 68 points leads the table. Mount Pleasant 62 points. Portmore 59 and Waterhouse both on 59 points. Portmore a superior goal difference. Racing United on 56 points. Cavalier round out the top six, just sitting in that final playoff spot, on it 3 points away from Cavalier. So Cavalier better be careful. Chapelton also 3 points away from Cavalier, but Cavalier has to be careful with on it because that lead could be a
But how many
problem.
games played though?
34 games so far, Joe.
All
They're
teams.
wrapping up, you know. They are the pinnacle of entering the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, they're wrapping up the season, the playoff season. Let's get to some of the comments. BM says, what the Reggae Girls have to do to fill the stadium? Win the World Cup? Junior, speaking of the Reggae Girls, what do the Reggae Girls have to do to fill the national stadium, Jamaican national stadium?
You want to have an honest conversation about that or no?
Yeah, I mean we are big people. We can have an honest conversation about it. We are adults here.
All right. Before I answer that question, the America women's team, do we think they fill stadiums?
Depend on the size of the stadium.
That's the key.
Yeah, size of the stadium.
That is the key. So what Jamaica need to do is to cordon off some of the seats in the stadium.
You know, when the American women really flying high during the World Cup year, though, they do
No, they cordon off some of the seats.
you know they do pack the stadium.
No, but they pack smaller stadiums. They cordon off some of the seats.
Yeah, but
So-
I mean, no 80,000 stadium, Jamaica stadium, 30, 40,000 people, Bridget.
Yeah, but there are levels to this thing, and we're talking ratios now. We're talking ratios. So for Jamaica women's team to quote unquote pack the stadium, JFF need to learn some tack and make the stadium smaller. So I like so we watch the game the other night, right?
Yeah.
Now the grandstand was built to protect people from the sun and the weather, the elements, right? If we know it's not going to rain and we're playing at night, you don't need to make grandstand the grandstand. What I would have done is I would have put billboards, the same billboards that we have, I would have cordoned off around the cycle track and put stands on the cycle track.
You doing all of that
For the women's game, yes. Yes. I would find some way to bring the fans closer to the field, get it in a smaller space, and angle the camera that way and let it look packer.
what sort of cost you looking at there, Junior?
What, for rent out some chairs?
I mean, because you're making some modifications that you require investments. Are you gonna get a return on investment
If I look at courts and say courts, I can create the court stands. And I know it will be packed out because the court stands arguably would make 5,000 people on the cycle track look packed. I would call that the court stands. All you have to do is pay the cost to bet the stands. You think them would bite on that? If they wouldn't bite on that, then the person that is giving that marketing strategy failed at marketing. Because that's the easiest sell ever. It's the easiest sell ever. That's the
Um,
reason why. That's the reason why when we watch cricket, IPL and the cricket games, you have these little, you have the fun station, you have the DJ section, all these little areas. You can do the same thing for the Jamaica women's football team. You don't have to chase 1998 men's World Cup qualification. You don't have to chase that. You can create your own. And that's something that they can do. Create your own space.
um, I get that. I get that. So I see that as a possible outlet avenue to answer BM's question regarding the stadium. But before I even explore that, I will say this. Before I explore your approach, Junior, as in cordon off the stadium, I want to appeal to Tanya and JFF. Go full blitz and promoting the team. Go full blitz and invest a significant amount of money in promoting. Get these players in front of fans, interacting with fans, and then we'll see if that then leads to a larger influx into the stadium. And I think it will. Will it fill the stadium? It's maybe a tad push, but I think you can really get close to it with proper encounters, proper games, and proper marketing. Uh, um, yeah, I think you can because reggae girls, by I think even in the avenue of there are some players or some people, not players, some people, some Jamaicans won't support women football. I get that. They don't watch women football. I get that. I think even in that space, you you can fill the stadium or get close to 90% capacity with brand Jamaica. And brand Jamaica is something that is quite marketable. And this is the reggae girls representing brand Jamaica. So with some savvy marketing and investment in marketing the product, I think you can get the stadium to 90%, even probably 100% capacity.
Right,
But you
right
have to
now,
get before I would explore that avenue first before I go your way of carding off part of the stadium. Because based on last night's game, with just small scale investments in marketing, getting some of the players out, putting them in on Instagram and doing and you got more people in the stadium. And I don't consider last night game was heavily marketed. It was heavily marketed more than the previous games. But the JFF and the marketing group has to do a better job. Have to do a better job.
yeah, yeah.
So I would take that approach before I start carding off stadium.
You
And
can do both. You can do
I
both.
yeah, you can. But because carding off stadium, that means I'm gonna lose some seats.
But
If
there's
I
no
understand.
guarantee. You would rather have a need to move the barricades up versus having to explain away why the seats are empty.
Yeah.
So
Errol
it's
says, do the men generally fill the stadium?
not no. That's why I say they're chasing 1998. Not no. We can't compare
Not
now.
no reggae boys. I mean, they did fill that stadium on the game against Curacao, but that was a one-off.
And schoolboy football. Some schoolboy football games will fill the national stadium.
Yes, it will. But again, Junior, I think that brand Jamaica, and it's quite evident, not just domestically but also globally. Brand Jamaica is marketed, is marketable, and the reggae girls representing brand Jamaica. So
You
you just
know,
have to find a way to package it and market it properly.
the Jamaica Tourist Board can easily create a reggae girl weekend. You buy a plane fare, you get 50% off of an all-inclusive hotel room, and that includes two tickets to the game. Jamaica Tourist Board can do that during the off season because so the reggae girls could be playing in October, right? When tourism low. You can create a reggae girls weekend, and you fly, you buy a ticket from Fort Lauderdale, go to Jamaica, and that ticket include staying at a hotel 50% off, includes travel to the game, and you have all that to yourself right then and there. Easy, easy. There's so many. You're right. Brand Jamaica, right? And Jamaica itself is an easy sell. Jamaica itself is an easy sell. So there are ways to do it. Now, the reggae girls have to maintain momentum to get those creative juices flowing. It's easy for us to say that. No, from our stance, right? But the
Yeah,
people who make those decisions, they have to be motivated to want to do this.
yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but the reggae girls have to motivate them a lot more than the men. It is what it is. That's how life go.
Yeah. There has to be a return on investment, so to speak. And I think the thing that I noticed with the JFF, at least that was Dennis Strong's JFF. Maybe the mindset probably changed. JFF, Dennis Strong probably tell me about my parts now. I never forget Dennis Strong said, women's football don't really make any money, and I read into that though it's a factual statement, I read into that it's not even worth investing in, but him probably has. I'm not gonna misrepresent what he said. I think in order for it to make money, you have to invest in the product, and then because I've seen it here with the women's team in the US, right?
But to be
The
fair,
She Believes tournament, like what the She Believes tournament are going to Atlanta, people full up going go watch this local idiot side, and even it's an idea with, so you
but to
have
be
to be able
fair
to market
though,
the product.
to be fair, Dennis Strong's comments were made during a FIFA embargo.
Yeah.
So he could have every intention to push the brand, but at the time they were strapped for money, for real,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real. So I which would never know at the time. So
And BM says I watched school football last season. Even the finals, only the grandstand was full. So last year during the schoolboy football final, I will say this also. The thing too that regarding marketing of the reggae girls, and you brought this up a few weeks ago. Um, so this is a difficult comment, but we are gonna say it anyway. Team USA and football in the US is more recognizable because of the women team. The women team is the big side when it comes to American football,
yep.
women's soccer, whatever. And maybe there needs to be a pivot to focus on the reggae girls a little bit more and forget this reggae boys thing.
Yep.
Because the reggae boys thing now materialize. It not translate to success. It not translate into return on investment. I mean, maybe. And if in the women's football landscape, there's a path forward to growing and growing quickly. Especially with the head start that the reggae girls have. So, maybe there's an opportunity there, but
I'm not
that
nothing
you have
is.
to take some balls to make that pivot in a culture which heavily focus on men's football, and it's hard.
I'm sorry. It's not that hard
I don't
because
think I think it's hard, Junior. It's hard to make that
before
pivot.
before Usain Bolt, the only thing people used to talk about was Merlin Atty and Gillette Cuthbert. So it's not that hard.
Yeah, this is true. Track and field, yep, Merlin at it. Women track and field was, yeah, that's a very good point. Women track and field was always the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these that sport. We don't care about no men
Oh,
track and
careful,
field team.
careful,
Raymond Stewart
care,
just used to go
careful.
Olympics, go run last. Big up
Whoa,
yourself, Raymond.
Benton, careful, because an elder older than us might come to me and say, young man, you have never heard of the great Herb McKinley?
Yes, and big up to Herb, Father Herb. I've met him. He's a wonderful man, but yes, Herb McKinley, Donald Quarry, Bertland Cameron, Winthrop Graham, legends in their own right.
Right.
But in the 90s, we never
Fact,
pay attention to the men track and field thing, brother.
So I think the way to say it is, or the way I would say it is this: everything have its season,
Yes.
and Jamaica need to understand there's Jamaica. It don't matter if it's men season or women season. If the women have them season, we support the women until the men come
Yes,
around.
yes, yes, yes.
I
And it's
think
not
that
a one against the other. We don't pit one against
exactly,
the other.
exactly,
But the
exactly.
point that you're making, and I think that I'm echoing the same sentiment, if that's what you're making, is that there was a time when the women's track team was, yo, boom, boom, boom. Merlin Atty, Grace Jackson, Juliet Cuthbert, yo, that's how we are there. And they were fully supported, fully loaded. Errol Phillips says JFF needs to try Chinese economics. Drop the price for the reggae girls. Yeah. Find a way to get seats people in the stands. Because ultimately they will support the vendors, and you are charging a price for more of those vendors to come and sell their products. More product people in the stadium, more vendors are forward, more price you can charge for those vendors to come and sell the patty and cheese or whatever they want to sell.
Patty. You ever eat patty at stadium? You're a mad man.
No, man, we don't eat patty at stadium. Me buy a patty and carry and try sneak it in. Bun and cheese, though. I've eaten quite a few bun and cheese.
Why Benton? Hey, we say well, I'll take with your country car this one.
Man. That juicy patty alone me buy, man. No eat no other patty at Jamaica. Juicy patty. BM says, when the girls walk out of the tunnel last night, I could see the disappointment on their faces. Imagine going to 2 consecutive World Cups, going to the round of 16 and still not getting any, still getting no support. Yeah. It's and then this a dopey bot side over there, so can't beat Curacao, can't beat Bermuda good, and people are running. Look at all the uptown people in the stadium when Curacao play Jamaica. Oh, I'm here to see Whisper. I'm here to see such and such. You know what? Not tell nobody of a support side, yeah. By the way, Bullhead, why weren't you at the Reggae Girls game last night? Junior, you can't send him that message. In fact, text him and ask him. Why wasn't he at the Reggae Girls game? Because I actually think he's investing heavily in women's football. You need his face and his personality over there so to come help charge and support the thing.
You know what? You know what, Benton?
Yes.
That is actually a way in for Craig Butler to get undermine speed.
But Reggae Girls, we love you nonetheless. Keep doing your thing, you know. And again, I want to emphasize that the diaspora tour, friendly games, forward. Get this team on a tour in the summer after the World Cup in the US, in front of US audience. Fully loaded, we're ready for support. Buy up jerseys and thing. And yo, that you know, want to big up Corey Bennett. Yo, Corey Bennett scored 2 goals again in a junior. 2 goals again for USL Colorado Switchback this weekend in a 4-1 victory. Big up Corey. Corey, go on, do your work, brother. Love the work. Corey has been scoring goals, and yet the coach say him not have no other striker. Imagine that. Well, former coach. The domestic coach say him never have no striker. Rudolph Speed me at top.
Yeah.
Tyreek McGee also got some minutes for Colorado Switchbacks. You know.
Yeah. Happy for Corey, man. Keep scoring, you. Keep scoring.
I can't understand how Corey Bennett cannot get a run in this Jamaican team. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I just can't get it.
You know, a conversation can be had, but I think he's outstanding, but he's not stellar. And I think
I mean, but you what are you looking for, Junior?
that's the thing. So Corey, I'm a boss, but he's not lightning quick. He's not under the low strong. He's a great goal scorer, right? He has a great nose for goals. But for him to transition to the next level, he's going to need some luck. And that's we're really hoping get that luck.
I mean, and I don't think whatever brown man lightning faster than Corey Bennett.
No, but him get the opportunity in England, though, right?
Yeah, so now this is where this championship foolishness coming. Depends on where you
Right,
play.
right, exactly.
Yeah, aside yeah, Bill, you know, so I look for people in a league.
You're looking for luck. That's what you're looking
Look
for.
for that, yeah. BM says we don't want speed butler foolishness over the reggae girls section. Keep that over the worthless reggae boys section. You know what? I fully endorse that statement. You know what, Bullet? Stay away there. Stay away over reggae boys. Don't run over us.
You either want grow or you don't.
Yeah, man.
Your choice.
Stay
Your
away there.
choice.
People have, make sure to say smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. I did a lot of show this weekend. A lot of shows this weekend. A lot of watch-alongs. Big up Corey Bennett. Big up yourself, goal scorer. Big up yourself. Keep doing the work, family. Good to see Terry Maggie back on the field. I'm gonna watch this Ballines versus Honor Garden game in a little bit. Should be an interesting one, Junior.
Yeah. All right, later. I'll be a whole heap of nice on.
Yeah, big up to those on the live. Smash the like button. Time for we take care of ourselves. Again, big up to all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining in on the BCN Sports family. Yo, have a wonderful week. Yo, be safe again. We'll do this on Wednesday. BallChat halftime show. BCN Sports halftime show. Call-in show. So if you want to call in and voice opinions, call in on Wednesday and get things. We'll cover some cricket news and basketball news and other news in the world of sport on Wednesday. You know what? Look more family. Have a wonderful week. Bless up.